Peekaboo. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to solve for the unknown. Okay, so in this particular topic, we're just going to solve for the unknown. In this situation, this is the unknown. You need to solve for that. Okay, just by reading that, you know that 4 plus something equals to 25, right? So you can just use your trial and error and just your normal basic addition skills trying to figure out what that number is. But we got to work this out algebraically. So when you get to a year 7, year 8, year 9, year 10, and so on stage, you're going to have to solve this algebraically. So what you're going to do is you need to get rid of that 4. The 4 is annoying the x, okay? So to get rid of it, you got to bring this 4 to the other side. So it's like, how are you going to get rid of it, okay? You always have to do the opposite. So what is the 4 doing to this x? It's adding it, right? But what's the opposite? So that's an actual plus there. It's a plus 4. When you bring it to the other side, the opposite of plus 4 is minus 4. So you're going to write that there. And then you're also going to write it here as well. So what do you have? Plus 4, minus 4. These cancel out on the left-hand side. Now the right-hand side, what you have is 25 take away 4. Okay, so now you have x is equal to 25 take away 4 is equal to 21. And I know a lot of people just know that, okay, x plus 4, okay, we know that x is 21 just by looking at it. But this is how you solve it algebraically, okay? Going on to the next stage. This is the unknown, x is the unknown. X take away 5 is equal to 3. Just by looking at that, you know that, okay, it's going to be 8. But how do you work that algebraically? And how do you show that working out? Say, for example, if this question is worth 2 marks, you have to show working out. So what are you going to do? To bring this to this side, you have to do the opposite. What's the opposite of minus 5? It's going to be plus 5. Whatever you do to the left-hand side, you must also do to the right-hand side. So minus 5 plus 5 basically just means 5 take away 5, which is going to be 0. You're left with now 3 plus 5. So 3 plus 5 is going to be equal to 8. So now whatever's left on this side, the left-hand side, you got x is equal to 3 plus 5. X is equal to 8. Okay? And that is actually a positive 8. Okay? So we don't really write that there, but I'm just going to show you that it's actually a positive 8. Okay, going on to the next question. You're going to know what to solve here. To solve here, it's x. Remember when they say solve for the unknown? It means solve for what you don't know. And the unknown is this, okay? The x. So your answer has to be x is equal to something. That's what your final answer has to be, okay? Right now, you've got the 2 next to the x, but you've got to find out what's the 2 doing to the x. As you can see in these examples here, yeah, over here, the 4 was adding to the x. And how do we get rid of the 4? We do the opposite, okay? What is the 2 doing to this x, okay? I know most students probably don't know this, but actually 2 is multiplying x. So let's write that out. 2 is actually timesing x. That's equal to 7. Now, when we move things from the left-hand side to the right-hand side, or vice versa, you have to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of 2 times? Okay, so the opposite of times is going to be divide, okay? So you're going to divide this side by 2, this side by 2. Cool. So 2 divided by 2 cancels out, becomes 1. And now you're left with x is equal to 7 over 2. Or 7 divided by 2. Okay? But when you get to year 7 and 8 and 9, 10 level, 12 level, you want to write your answer in this particular way. Okay, you may have written this at a primary school level, but this is how you want to present your answer. 7 over 2. Now you're going to have a look at question number 4. Question number 4, it says x over 4 divided by 3. Okay, basically that means x divided by 4 equals to 3. Okay, so how do you bring this to this side? You got to do the opposite. What's the opposite of divide? It's going to be multiplication. So you're going to times on this side, times on this side as well. This cancels out, and now you're left with x is equal to 3 times 4. X is equal to 12. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to end up writing it like this. So if I write on this side, okay, x over 4 equals 3. You bring this up here, and it's going to be times by 4 times by 4. That cancels out. So actually, you should write it here on the top. Okay, times by 4. 4 times 4. These cancel out to become 1 and 1. You're left with x is equal to 12. Okay, this is how you want to write it out. Okay, at a year 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 method. Okay, in the next part, we're just going to go through a bit harder questions that involves negative signs. Okay, so that's going to be in the next video. Hope you guys enjoy that. Let me know if you have any questions or put any feedback in the comments. I'm all welcome for constructive feedback. So let me know, guys, how you found that. That's all about solving linear equations. Awesome. See you guys soon.